Welcome back, my legends, and today I'm going to break down the new cinematic trailer for Pathfinder called The Truth and how it relates to the Pathfinder's questbook, because there's a lot of information that they purposely left out because of time reasons, so I'm here to fill in those blanks. So the first thing we're going to go over is, what is Project Iris? Now, disclaimer in saying that this is my timeline to be more lore friendly to the story, because there are a few contradictions here and there, but my timeline kind of cleans them up. So let's begin. My assumption is that Project Iris was started in the year 2645. The reason I'm saying this is because in the Pathfinder's questbook, it's stated by the group that this is when Branthium was discovered, which means during this year, she not only discovered Branthium, but she also had that meeting in her cinematic where she explained to the scientists of Olympus that the Outlands was running out of energy. Now, in the loading screen Crisis to a Bird, Lillian Peck, the founder of Olympus, stated using Alekin's research that it all ends in disaster by the year 2699, and unfortunately for Alekin, he miscalculated and the energy crisis would start much sooner than he predicted. And so what happened is that in the year 2645, Horizon's presentation didn't go as planned. A lot of scientists did not believe about the Branthium, the energy crisis, or even if they did, they were hoping that it's just something that they could take care of 10 years from now. So with the help of Lillian Peck, Horizon and Reed were the ones that originally started Project Iris. So what happened in the year 2748, Horizon and Dr. Reed decided to fly near a black hole they named 2427 SR. We don't know what the significance of that name is, but this should be the year that Horizon's cinematic happens, where she gets betrayed by Dr. Reed and steals the Branthium, and Horizon is lost in space for not 88 years but 84, just so we can be more lore friendly with the timeline. So during that time, Dr. Reed came back with the Branthium, and Project Iris continue with a new group of scientists called themselves the Group in the year 2654. Now, during this time, the IMC has returned to the frontier to reclaim what they thought was theirs somewhere in the mid 2650s. Now, this detail is going to be important later on. So what happened is that the new group was formed in the next year, in the year 2655. The energy crisis started to begin in the Outlands, and Lillian Peck, the founder of Olympus, predicted that they had about 10 years to solve the problem until the point of no return, which luckily for us, the group was able to find a solution and save the Outlands in the year 2658, which caused the event. So this is the timeline I was able to put together using the Pathfinder's questbook. Next, I'm going to talk about Pathfinder's creators. Now, there are 8 of them: Dr. Conan Shelley, Dr. Amelia Paquette, Dr. Newton Summers, Dr. Amelie Delgado, Dr. Alekin Gibraltar, Dr. Anastasia Stay, Dr. Armin Fletcher, and Dr. Ashley Reed. Now, 3 of these scientists are connected to the legends in the game. One of them being Emily Paquette, the geologist, that's connected to Watson by being her grandmother. The other scientist that's connected to a legend is Alekin Gibraltar, who happens to be Gibby's grandfather. And the last one is Newton Summers, who is Horizon's son. Now, technically, Bangalore also has a connection to Project Iris, but that's because they had a family friend that they kind of consider as an uncle called Uncle Al, and Uncle Al was part of the 86th Battalion for the IMC, and their job was to protect the group as security. Unfortunately, they did not show up in the cinematic, but I have a personal headcanon that I'll explain later on in the video. So now I'm going to explain the first few pages that were cut off from the cinematic, and that is the group was trying to find a way to refine Branthium into a sustainable energy source. The problem was that in order to refine Branthium, you had to manually recalibrate it from the inside, but the temperatures were so hot that one of the group members said that it could literally melt Titan armor. So in order to solve this problem, Ashley Reed came with the idea of making a Marvin unit that can go inside the refinery and manually configure the Branthium and make it into an energy source. Now, Stay, being kind of the leader of the group, agreed that was a good idea, and so this is how Pathfinder came into existence, by the idea of Ashley Reed, and this is how Pathfinder was created. Now, in this scene right here, we see that they're typing in the computer. Now, what they're doing is they're giving Pathfinder his personality, and what it was encouraged is to put a bit of themselves inside Pathfinder to make his personality. Now, the ones that really stand out was Newton Summers, who put Pathfinder should see everybody as his friend, because according to him, that's the most precious thing that his mom always told him, and he saw the group as his friends, especially actually Ashley Reed. Now, speaking of Dr. Reed, she was actually allowed to put something inside Pathfinder, which she only pressed one button. She did is give Pathfinder his iconic smile on his chest. That's right, that was Ashley Reed's idea. Now we get to the final part, and that is Ashley Reed Betrayal. Now, as we can see in the cinematic, Ashley Reed was working with these group of people. Now, these group of people are apex predators, which work for the Syndicate. Now, some of you are going to say that you thought maybe Kuben Bliss created the group. No, they've been around for a while, and we know it's actually them because they have the iconic Apex Predators logo, and also Rampart confirmed in her chapter that those people are in the Predators. Now, are they pilots? Technically, yes. I know that's gonna get some people angry because Pathfinder just beat them like it was nothing, but that was for plot convenience. So what happens in the story is that Ashley Reed wants to steal the Brantium because she wants to send it to Gridiron to the IMC headquarters base. Now, this is for the people that know the Lord who are going to say, Kevin, the Syndicate and the IMC have been working together for 300 years. We know this from Revenant lore. So why would they send a battalion squad to protect the group if they were going to steal from them from the first place? And the answer is quite simple, because that way nobody will be able to blame the IMC, because it was the IMC that sent soldiers to protect the group, and all of a sudden they are clear of suspicion, even though we know it's them because they're sending the Brantium to Gridiron. So they were willing to sacrifice soldiers in order to clear their name in case people want to blame them for the attack. Now, the last thing I want to talk about is, why did Pathfinder leave his creators behind to die? Well, because unfortunately the Face Runner cannot be used by living things. Ignore gameplay mechanics, and since they heard the backup Apex Predators coming through the door, which I like to believe that Bangalore's Uncle Al were able to hold them off long enough so that way Ashley Reed didn't get any backup reinforcements, the group decided to let the failsafe initiative continue. And for those of you wondering what the failsafe initiative is basically blowing up the entire laboratory. Now, if you're wondering why did they have that in Pathfinder, is because Emily Paquette kind of requested Stay to put something like that because they really did not trust Ashley Reed, and so they have that initiative just in case something happens. Now, unfortunately for Pathfinder, he had to say bye to his creators. Now, not all of his creators died. Newton Summers was able to survive and grow old like we see in the cinematic, and the reason why is because Dr. Reed kind of took him away from that place. I'm pretty sure it's because Newton Summers considered her a friend, even though Reed was responsible for his mother's death, but hey, at least he didn't blow up. So yeah, my legends, that would do it for this complex, simply explained version of Pathfinder's lore. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you all next time. Peace.
As I stumble in the dark, color shattered, 'cause I'm finally unbreakable.